What is going on, guys? Today we're going to be talking about fly fishing. And if you did not know, fly fishing is one of my absolute hands down favorite ways to catch fish. Now, I'm going to simplify this down for everybody, so then this is just kind of like a fly fishing 101 video, I guess we could call it that. Essentially, what we're going to do is break apart and get those out of the way. We'll get that out of the way for now, but we'll break apart this right here. So, this is my fly rod, and it is inside of a rod sock. And this rod sock is great because it keeps the rod protected and keeps the pieces from breaking, because that is something that has notoriously happened with me. I'm very rough on my gear, probably rougher than I should be, but you know, it happens. I've only had to replace this rod twice. Great thing about buying a Redington or any other kind of higher dollar fly rod, or just any rod in general, is that they come with a warranty. So no matter what, if it breaks, they'll replace it for free. Well, not free. I had to pay like 30 bucks to get a new piece on the rod. So this is a 4-piece rod. It's a Redington Pursuit. I don't believe they make this anymore. I got this about 2-3 years ago, and it's a 9-foot 7-weight 4-piece rod. So it's a 7-weight, and rods in fly fishing are numbered, so they go from 0 to whatever weight, and 0 being the lightest, so that's kind of like your ultralight, and then bigger numbers, the heavier duty the rod gets. This is a 7-weight, so this is a heavier duty fly rod for, this is basically meant for catching bass and large fish. Generally, trout fishermen or just your average Joe who wants to get into fly fishing will pick up about a 4 or 5 weight, and I like to fish for everything. With my fly rod, I can throw lighter flies, but it's a little bit harder. But I mainly just throw streamers and try and catch bass on my fly rod because it's so enjoyable. I highly recommend Redington. It's a great brand to buy. I absolutely love this rod. If I'm going to get another one, I would get about a 2 or a 3 weight, just because I want to get an ultralight and just lighter action rods. Another thing you can use this 7-weight for is catching carp. I've never necessarily caught a carp before. I've snagged one or two, and that's about it. But I'd love to get into carp fishing with a fly rod. It just looks like it would be a lot of fun. Here is my reel. This is a 7, 8, and 9 weight reel. So the reel has to match the weight of the rod. This one happens to be a 7, 8, or 9 weight rod or reel. So you can use this for a 7-weight, 8-weight, or a 9-weight. And so I've got 7-weight Scientific Angler fly line, floating fly line on this. It's just super versatile for me to use, and it was like 15 bucks. So it's no loss if I don't clean it or anything. I just get a new line for like 15 bucks, and it's really not that big of a deal. Let's go through this here. Actually, we'll just take the spool off. How about that? So, this right here is called the spool. It holds your backing and your fly line. If you see right in here, you can see that white line that's in there. That's my backing. It's 30-pound backing, and you attach that to your reel, and then to the fly line, and then your fly line to your leader, and then your leader onto your tippet if you need tippet. But your backing is just there in case you run out of fly line, because there's really not too long of line on here. So your backing will essentially help you out because you'll not run out of line and lose your fish. Like a big carp, a big trout like to run, and you just give them the line, no worries, you can get them on the reel and reel them in. Okay, Josh, how'd you do this? It's almost like you should know how to do this by now. So the difference between the reel for a fly rod and the reel for a spinning or bait casting rod is your hands are the reel. You don't necessarily use this to reel the fish in. Most of the time, you're gonna have, let's kind of do this here. So you're gonna have your finger like that, holding the line, and you're gonna strip the line in with your hand, getting the fish to come in. So it's a little bit more of a hands-on process. You feel the fish a lot more, and it's just really enjoyable. I really do like it a lot. Your fly line is then tied onto your leader. Your leader for fly fishing is tapered, so it starts thick and ends skinnier and skinnier and skinnier. So you tie this leader on with either a loop, like this fly line has. It's a looped end fly line, so I just have to put the loop on the fly line and the loop on the leader, put them together, pull them, you're good to go. If you don't have a loop and then you don't have a loop leader, that's just perfectly fine. You just tie a nail knot, you're good to go. Pretty easy, very simple, and you're rocking and rolling. So like I said, the leader's tapered, and so when you start taking flies on and off, you're going to be losing your leader, but you don't necessarily need to just throw a new leader on. They're going to be like $4 or $5 each. So what we do in fly fishing is we tie on tippet, and tippet is just a little, it's basically just monofilament line that matches the size of your leader, so you can get different weights of pound tests of tippet. And what my personal favorite knot to tie my tippet onto my leader is a blood knot. I feel like it works the best, it stays in line, and I've not lost a fish on it yet if I tied it properly. And the last thing we have here is flies. I won't go too in depth here, but for your flies, I like to tie most of my flies just because I have the time and I like to practice and, you know, getting the creativity juice flowing. So something like this right here, this is a Caddis Fly. I doubt you guys can see this, but this is something I like to throw for sunfish. That's generally anything with white or black. It's a go-to for me. So I like to catch sunfish on those. Right here, this is a good kind of all-purpose bait. It's a woolly bugger. If you guys want me to do more fly tying videos or just videos on flies, let me know. I can do that. But woolly bugger, it's a great fly there. Just all-purpose bass, crappie, sunfish if they're big enough to eat it. That's that. And then in this box right here, like I did in my tackle box review, if you guys, or not review, tour, this is full of my streamer flies. I added some more quite recently because I had the time to tie a bunch of streamers. White bass run is coming up, and these things are killers. So what I do here is I've got my hook, and then I tie on the squirrel tail, a little bit of white accent on there, dumbbell eyes. You're rocking and rolling. This catches bass regardless of any lake, pond, river, catches fish, and that's why I tie this fly. So that's about it for this video. I hope you guys learned something new today. If you want me to do some videos on fly fishing, leave it in the comments. All in all, I can basically say that I love my fly rod, I love the reel, I love the fly line, I dig the flies that I tie. I mean, hands down, my favorite by far method of catching fish. Only complaint is it's hard to do on windy days, but we can still make it happen. Unless it's Kansas and it's 30-mile-an-hour winds from the south. That just ain't happening. So, anyways, that's all I got for you. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something new, and I'll see you on the next one.